going to be perfect for you. And you're just going to love her. I love this lady. Thank you so much.
I'm really just trying to take this all in, y'all. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And I left home at 18 years old. I'm 42 now. Yes, the dog is 42. Girl, you know it. And the reason why I say that is because when people hear that I was on Shark Tank Season 8 in 2016, when they hear that I was in Forbes magazine or that there's a billboard in Times Square with my book on it right now, when they hear that big companies, that I'm a corporate trainer for LinkedIn, Google, Microsoft, Federal Reserve Bank, Intuit QuickBooks, they're just like, and y'all see I'm black on both sides. There's nothing ambiguous about me, no green eyes, no, y'all know I'm a chubby girl wonder, no Brazilian butt lift. I'm just trying to let y'all know. All the things that they tell y'all are going to make you successful, right? But y'all see, I'm a full-figure diva and a plus-size fashionista. Did you hear me though? And so I'm an interactive speaker. So if I say something and y'all feeling it, go ham and cheese and peanut butter and jelly. Amen. I want you to. We're not going to play this game. And I really want to thank Kelly because, you know, as she was telling the story, y'all know I speak for a fee. But when she told me her vision, and I haven't been back to the Midwest in so long, because when I left St. Louis at 18 years old, matter of fact, let me take us back. Let's go way back in time. When I was born, my mother wanted to leave me at the hospital because I was too chocolate. And every day of my life, for the first 12 years of my life, I was told, I wish you were never born. I was beaten and tortured, physically, emotionally. It was hard. Now you might be wondering, where's your father? My father is a drug addict. He's been on crack cocaine since he's 18 years old, and I'm still saying today he's still on it, y'all. So being told I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'll never have friends, I'll never have any of these sort of things. But when I went to school, I shined. I was that little black girl that could. I was in gifted classes and stuff like that, but when I went home, it was a nightmare. And finally, on November 18th, 1991, my mother nearly beat me to death. That was 30 years ago. I didn't think I would live past that day. But I'm 42. And when I tell y'all, she nearly beat me to death, threw me out of the house naked. And I walked 2 miles in darkness to my aunt's house and collapsed on her front porch. Of course, the police came, took pictures, went to court and all this sort of thing. And I was thinking to live with my father, the drug addict. That was difficult. In more ways than I could ever explain to any of y'all. And I didn't think I was worth living. I really stopped enjoying school and everything. But there was Precious Williams, my grandmother, Precious Dolores Williams, who went to my father and said, give it to us. And when I walked into their home, I'm going to tell you the truth, y'all, I didn't want to go. I thought they were old. What was I? Do you hear me? Did you hear me though? When I walked into that home, you know what I walked into? Love. It was only the 3 of us. You see how number 3 keeps coming up? It was only the 3 of us. I had my own room. I went from not really taking showers to my grandparents running my bath water every morning. I never worried about a meal, ever. My grandmother drove me to school in the hood. Do you hear me? This is the hood. The gritty, grimy hood. And my grandmother, when she woke me up, she would tweak my toes and say, hey, Queen Bee. Ooh, I like that. And she made me do affirmations. She said, Opus don't know your name. You're the greatest in the world. When you speak, everybody listens. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, word? You know? Yeah, take it to the 80s. Word. And I'm thinking nobody wanted me for the first 15 years of my life. My grandmother told me to my face, she said, no, you were wanted from the day you were born. I just waited 15 years. I waited for the right time to get you. But that's Precious Williams, the 8th grade education. That's my grandmother who had 7 kids in the 8th grade education. So by the time I came around, I think she went to the Oprah Winfrey School of Parenting. I was never hit, but I got the lectures from hell. 2-3 hours, I'm like, to smack me up a little bit. I'll get smacked right. And my grandfather used to say this sweet thing. He's like, don't make me lose confidence in you. If he ever said that to me, I would just burst into tears. My life is over. Now, I'm from the hood, right? That's where I'm supposed to be from. You would never think Grandpa could say that. Wait, I'm losing confidence. I lost my life. You know what I'm saying? But it's because of them that I'm here today. At 16 years old, the principal of my high school came to me and said, we want you to speak at an event. Didn't tell me this before the mayor of the city of St. Louis, because I'm supposed to be that little ghetto girl, right? But I didn't know. So a teacher wrote my speech, and right before I was set to deliver it, my grandma and I walked in, we just trying to be fantastic. And I saw the mayor, I was like, word? My grandma sat in the front row, and she was like, I'm going to watch this. Never saw the speech before, and I got up and delivered and got a standing ovation. The mayor and I became friends that day. In fact, the day after my prom, at 6 a.m., I was in the mayor's office with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And I still had that picture. I was wearing Harvard on my chest. Oh, and by the way, a month ago, I spoke at Harvard University on the art of pitching. But when I tell y'all, my next speaking engagement was for the governor of Missouri. Still that ghetto girl, though, right? Another standing ovation. And then I was paid to speak all over the state of Missouri at scholarships, receptions, fundraisers, and everything. Now, mind you, my grandmother put it in me that I could speak. She said I had the gift of speaking connection. However, we're coming to the end of high school, y'all. We're coming to the end. I was Miss Beaumont 1996, 1997, and remember, my mom always told me I wasn't pretty, I wasn't anything. But I was Miss Beaumont 1990. That's not prom queen. I was queen for the entire year with a parade in the city of St. Louis. I'm still shocked by that. I'm like, ooh, what was that? She made okay. I graduated as a valedictorian in the class of 1997, battalion commander, and I went to Spelman College on a full scholarship, and they only give out 2 a year. Woo! And Grandma and Granddad didn't want me to go. No, let's keep it above. But I knew I had to go. I said, if I stay here, this is going to be ugly. All the family members in my business, telling my grandparents what I'm doing. I ain't about that life. Went off to Spelman College, where everybody told me I would never make it through because I went to a hood high school. Those girls they were wealthy. I went to school with Keisha Knight Pulliam, as y'all know, Rudy from the Cosby Show. I went to school with a lot of wealthy black women students. I didn't come from money, but never once did anybody make me feel bad about it. The only question that still throws me off is when they ask me so where have you been? Where have you traveled? And they would say Italy and all that kind of stuff, and all I could say was Blytheville, Arkansas. Blytheville, Arkansas. I try to say but they love me. My professors love me. And I made it out in 4 years, 3.6 GPA, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa with a degree in English, minor in art history, pre-law. Got a full scholarship to Georgetown University Law Center. Promptly got kicked out of Georgetown University Law Center on March 15th, 2002. But because of connections, and what did Kelly say earlier? Relationships matter. Because of connections, one of my mentors sent me over to Rutgers, which is in New Jersey, right? Went in and met with the dean, thinking, I can't really expect much. They said, oh, so you went to Georgetown? I said, yeah. They said, so what if we offered you a full scholarship? If I do Jay-Z at the time, I'd be like, Jigga who? Jigga what? So I hopped up on that. I said, how do you go from losing to getting another full scholarship? Made it out in 2007 as the #1 student attorney in my class. We're not going to talk about it. I did have a nervous breakdown in law school. I went through some trauma, drama, and stress. Was in a psych ward for 3 months. But we ain't going to address that. But when I tell y'all, I passed the New York State Bar on my first try. Because they say that certain people can't pass standardized tests, right? But I did. Became a great, hey, give it up. But I was an associate at Sullivan and Crummer, one of the top firms in the world. I clerked for a federal judge in the Southern District. It was very prestigious. Oh, and my GPA when I graduated from law school was a 2.9, so I shouldn't have half the things I have today. But this is why relationships matter. And this is why you're at this event today. Because the things that I have today aren't just built on the sweat of my brow. It's built from people seeing my talent, my skill set, and abilities. And whereas others need to have 4.0 GPAs and all kind of stuff, I walked in with a 2.9 GPA and just slayed everyone. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like being an attorney at all. I was like, doing this for 40 years? The double will be like 60 and 40. Like, oh no. I was like, this is boring. And that was my personal experience. I say that's for everybody. I had a 7-year relationship with a man that I had known since I was 15 years old in high school. In 2010, I ended that relationship. Put a little ad on the dating website. I ain't gonna tell you what he is because y'all gonna look at me totally different, so I'm not gonna go for her. But guess who I connected with? A very famous Hollywood actor. I'm not gonna say what he was doing on there because but that relationship changed my life. I was 327 pounds. I know y'all don't see that today. When you're 327 pounds, or a woman who has a little bit more meat on their bones, you're invisible to society. But this man had me glued out like an Instagram thought. Do you hear me? I was on set today. I was like, oh, okay. Oh my God. And I was like, he held my hand in public. I was like, wait. Daylight, all that was beautiful. And it inspired me to start my first company, Curvy Girls Lingerie. The ultimate shopping experience for full-figured divas and plus-size fashionistas. But what do you think most people say? You're a lawyer. Be grateful. That's stable. Is being a lawyer stable today? No. But neither is entrepreneurship. I was told I was too fat, too black, and didn't have an Ivy League degree. No one would invest in me. And as entrepreneurs, one of the things y'all gotta know is there will always be people telling you what you cannot do because they've never tried it. But they've heard from other people that it's impossible. They've heard that, you have degrees, you stick to that. Last time I checked, I have transferable skills. And one thing you learn in entrepreneurship, you learn about sales. You learn about, attracting and dating and closing on customers and clients. And even though I had never been an entrepreneur before, I literally had to figure out how to get, because, I had no points. I quit my jobs. It was a rough life. But I got a link a card in the mail from Crane Small Business. They were having a small business awards. And God, yes, he did. He told me, you gotta go. It was $300 for the ticket. Y'all know I ain't had that money. I had negative $400 in my bank account. But I got a credit card, put that $300 on, put on my best Calvin Klein dress, 3 pairs of shapewear, and I was in there like swimming. Child, when I walk up in there, I'm like this. Oh, shoot. I know I'm broke, dead broke. Oh, man, what am I doing in these streets? I walked up to the producers of MSNBC. And I was so scared, y'all, but God told me to do it. So I walked up to him. They're looking at me like... And the question that we're going to, who is you? Not who are you, but who is you? And they were like, who are you? I said, well, I'm glad you asked. My name is Precious Williams, and I'm the proud founder and CEO of Curvy Girls Lingerie. We're the ultimate shopping experience for full-figured divas and plus-size fashionistas. You can call me the female MacGyver of business because I always deliver. When I tell you, they look at me like... When I tell you, they laughed in my face. Like, y'all know. You got to keep it cute now. But I think my face was the word, what? Crestfallen. They looked at me and they were like, oh, no. You're the first person to walk up to us today in pitch, and you had confidence, and you knew what you were doing. Now, they didn't know I had no money, but we're going to keep it cute. So they said, have you heard of our show Elevator Pitch? I couldn't say no, y'all, but I'd never heard of the show. I said, of course, everybody's heard of it. And when I tell y'all, they bought me the host of the show, J.J. Ringberg, But she got on stage to get an award, so they brought me her book and produced a tall, elegant black woman. I'm never gonna put her name on blast. My sister still don't like me today. But she said, "Give me your elevator picture." She said it with a threat in her voice. And you know, we're from the streets. You threaten? Oh, I'm about to rise to the occasion. So I'm going hard in the streets. I'm going peanut butter and jelly, ham and cheese on her. She said, "Stop, you're really good." I know. And she said, "You can be on the show." Jigga who? Now, y'all know I had on glasses, so she couldn't see the tears in my eyes, and it was at night. She said, "Can I have your business card?" Y'all know I ain't got no money, so of course I didn't have a business card. But what does a pitch master do on the spot? You know what? I've been here all night. I ran out of cards. She was like, "All right, cool. Here's my card." What? I left that event, y'all. I didn't have money to get to the event, nor did I have money to get home. But I made it home. And you know I was on that email, get me popping. So at the end of the day, told my friends I'm going to be on Your Business with JJ Ramberger and MSNBC. Nobody believed me. It's cute. My friend was supposed to do my makeup that day. She didn't show up. They came and picked me up in a Cadillac Escalade. When I got in, the driver said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm celebrity overnight." You know? And she was like, "Ah!" Dropped me off at Rockefeller Center. And y'all know, I'm from St. Louis. There's no way that a little girl from St. Louis could ever see herself walking into Rockefeller Center, going through security, all that kind of stuff, getting my face made up. I was still 327 pounds, y'all. So if y'all haven't seen it, you go on my website, www.perfectpicturesbyperson.com, and you can actually see me pitch, and you see what happened. But let me tell you, I was scared. I was alone. I didn't know, oh my God, who am I to think that I can do this? And we went on set. Alex Witt and Melissa Harris Perry, because this is 2012, not now. It's 2012. And they told me to stand at this X. And the investors walked up to me, and I really wanted to pee on myself, like, this is really happening. I'm gonna have to go be Black Girl Magic before Black Girl Magic was even a term. I'm about to go in. And so the investors stood in front of me, action, and I'm going hard. And in 54 seconds, it was over. And as I stood there, I went deaf. They were talking, I couldn't hear a word they were saying. And when my hearing came back, I heard the host of the show say, "That was one of the best pitches we've ever had in the history of this show." I walked away with $500,000 that day. So if you want to know how our queen got me, it's because you can't despise small beginnings. I remember when I ain't had nothing to talk my way into money. Oh, and by the way, my company wasn't real, just so y'all clear. What have you learned from a lot of people? Your bluff game got to be good. And I'm going to stand in my genius. So we got that company off the ground. Next thing I knew, Shark Tank. And I'd already had 4 clients on Shark Tank, so I knew it was only a matter of time they came to me. So I won 13 out of 14 national elevator pitch competitions, adding an additional $150,000 to my take. And in my last competition, the Black Enterprise National Elevator Pitch Championships on May 16, 2013, when I won, Robert Townsend, y'all know the 5 Heartbeats, y'all know who Robert Townsend, the MC Light, they both came to me and said, "You are the killer pitch master." I was like, "Word?" And they were like, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" They said, "You slay all competitions. When you walked out as a champ. You walked to my first pitch was 53 seconds. My second pitch was 27 seconds. They were like, "But you won when you stood on that stage." He was like, "There's nobody who could touch you." So when I went on Shark Tank, would y'all like to hear my pitch on Shark Tank? Yeah. Let me look at the time because I know my girls. Okay. I got real time. Goody. Ladies, it's Valentine's Day, and you finally met the man of your dreams. You know what time it is. It's time to find some sexy lingerie to set the mood off nicely. But you weigh over 200 pounds. What's a big girl in the city supposed to do? Well, if you're anything like me, then you went to Victoria's Secret, and you found out that they don't even make a bra in your size. So then you went to Ashley Stewart and Lane Bryant, and you didn't really like the selection. Finally, as a last resort, you went to Macy's, where your choices are black, beige, and white. Again, what's a big girl supposed to do? Well, that's why I created Perfect Girls Lingerie. At Curvy Girls Lingerie with the ultimate shopping experience for full-figure divas and plus-size fashionistas. Now, Sharks, I got some questions for you. So let me address them right out. There are over 40 million women size 14 or larger in the United States like me, and we all want pretty underwear. It's just too bad that nobody makes underwear for us. But we do. So I know your next question, because I know Mr. Wonderful, where them dollars at? Where them dollars at? In our first 6 months of operation, we crossed 6 figures with our innovative website, and then we created our own direct sales home party model. So that there were women from all over the country who were paying us to showcase our lingerie to their network. And then we had the audacity to go on a nationwide tour. Remember, I was told I was too fat, too black, and I didn't have an Ivy League degree. So how did I raise $650,000 in 13 pitch competitions and 1 appearance on television? When I tell you I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. So, Shark, I just want to know. I want to know where the dollar was at. I wonder if you want to rock with me. I'm a woman from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri, who's always told I could not do something, and I defied each and every odd. And there are people who are going to watch this episode and they can't believe that I did it my way, looking the way I look. I'm on here with a low-cut canary yellow peppermint dress and afro and extreme makeup. I'm tailor-made for this. But I'm also here to show the power of believing in yourself no matter what. So I came with not just an idea. I came with a fully formed thought, a fully formed company, and we make money. So I hope you know you've been served. My name is Precious Williams, and I am the proud founder and CEO of Curvy Girls Lingerie. Thank you. When I tell y'all, they literally, like, Robert Hershey said, watching you was like watching a master at her craft. I was like, I really want to be like, can we cut? Because he just said that on a black chick. St. Louis, show me state, that's what we're doing. And then Mark Cuban, and then I said this, I forgot, this is even the better part. I said, okay, ladies, now let's get in formation. The door opened, my full figure divas came out. Mark Cuban was like, you go, girl. I'm like, And then the question started. And when I tell y'all, I came to life. It's like when you look at the Sharks in real life, I know what it looks like on television, but there's so much that comes along with that, right? There's so much that comes along with it. The stuff you can't see on television, the behind the scenes stuff. When people told me I would never get on Shark Tank because I didn't fit the mold, or that no one cares about plus size women, here's what I learned. If I just said I'm doing stuff for plus size women or big girls need love too, nobody cares. But when you change your language, you change the game. So instead of plus size women, we're talking about full figure divas and plus size fashionistas. I'm not afraid to get on stage. Whether I was 327 pounds or about 230 like I am today, you know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed. There was a time I was ashamed to wear colorful things. I know. What's the rapper? I know you see it. With pink hair? Come on now. How did I get LinkedIn, Microsoft, Google, and all these big companies to notice me? They're always being approached by subject matter experts and consultants that all sound the same. You ain't everybody else. If you want to be treated average, random, and ordinary, talk the same talk you've been talking. But if you really want to stand out, dare to be bold. Dare. So number one, y'all want some real tips on how to slay all competition? Yeah. Y'all want some real tips? If y'all got if you all have something to write with, I want to give you one free resource that I created for us. But I want you to take this down, and if you have time, you can fill out this quiz right as I'm talking. So go to the website pitchingforprofit.com. Pitching, PITCHING 4 FOR profit PROFIT.com. As I'm talking, y'all can take it. It's a free 6-question quiz. It's called What's Your Next Pitch Power Play? And it's going to send you out a customized report that shows you how to up your pitching game. So as y'all sitting here today and y'all hear something like, okay, I may need to incorporate that. You can do that right now as I'm talking. We can get it popping. So here are some of my greatest tips for pitching. Number one, you must be a master storyteller. Now, I know y'all hear that a lot. People tell you that all stories matter. They don't. What are stories that are going to attract your target market? Now, when I'm at LinkedIn and Googling that, my mama and all that, that's unnecessary. You know what they like to hear? How did I go from the bottom to the top without growing up with the connections, the fans, the followers, the like? How did I do it? Because they need to know how to do that. They look at small businesses like, we need to steal from what y'all are doing because we've kind of plateaued. So use it to your advantage. It doesn't have to be a sob story. It can just literally, what was the inspiration for what you did? My inspiration is I was dating a very famous Hollywood actor that people swore up and down I could never have gotten. Well, you know what I did? And if he were alive, he would tell you that bitch got me. And then her attitude and how flamboyant she was, like, come on now. I didn't do what they think big girls do. I came in like a wrecking ball. I was trying to be like Miley Cyrus. I'm a wrecking ball. So figure out over the course of your life, what are the best stories that best illustrate what your company can do for your prospects, your clients, and your customers. And it doesn't have to be a long story, but you want to illustrate why they should hire you, book you, purchase your products and your services. So think back over your life. I will pull out maybe 5 stories that illustrate either why you started your company, what inspired you. It could be, y'all know my grandmother inspired me because she saw the gift in me that I never saw. And not only did she inspire me at 15 years old, I'm 42 years old now. People say speakers don't get paid. Speakers is, I don't know that life. I don't know. So when you're putting your story together, you have to set a scene in the audience's mind of where you want them to go. So if y'all heard from my pitch, when did you hear Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day, everybody know about that life. But they never think about the full-figure diva and what she may be experiencing. And that's fine, because if you're not a full-figure, you wouldn't know. But I wanted them to know that there are over 40 million women who look like me. And even if you don't think you see them in real life, we're here. And I'm going to create something for an untapped market that needs this. And because they don't know I exist, I had to use the power of media to do it. And that's why God told me to choose media first, instead of just showing up at pitch competitions. I had to show. I had to really show with flamboyant skill and technique that this is what was needed. Number 2, when you go to storyteller and you have to set a scene in the audience's mind of where you want them to go, 2, be bold and unexpected in telling your story. Some people are so ashamed, or they think that they have to have a sob story. No, you don't. Because I don't think mine is a sob story. I think it's an overcoming story. I think it's a triumph story. I'm not going to leave you where I was 30 years ago. I'm going to tell you how I got to 42. So be bold and go out there. Number 3, dream big. The only reason I'm here is because I have clients who make sure I'm eating right. Did y'all hear me? I'm eating. And I want to bless Kelly because that's what she wants for all of y'all. Okay. So that was number 1 under, be a master storyteller. Number 2, this is always the hardest because people want to tell you the solutions that they can offer without making sure that you understand what the problem is. So if I just came out and said, I'm just making lingerie for, the big girls, what I'm saying, people would say, who cares what they wear? They're not dating anybody. Now, I was dating a very famous Hollywood actor. So I couldn't go on Shark Tank or any of my pitch presentations and looking booty. I had to look like, y'all talking about Beyonce, but Precious is here. Thanks. You heard? So you have to show up and show out. But what problem do you solve? Because a lot of us want to, we got the best this or that. If people don't know they have a problem, they're never going to consider you. So when it comes to pitching, right? People think you only pitch for money. Not true. You pitching your everyday life. This is a lesson for y'all, for all of us. When you talking about that no good man or woman in your life, that job you love or hate, these clients, whatever, that is pitching. The person listening is supposed to make you the center of attention. And because they're listening to you, ooh, you got their attention. Keep it. But when it comes to pitching for money, for media, at networking events, for sales, and sales interviewing, and if you're a speaker, you have to add strategy, cunning, and precision to it. If I just pick my purpose like, y'all just pick a little song, you know what I'm saying, just do that. You're like, I don't know that chick. Who is she? She hasn't demonstrated that she's the bomb.com at what she does. Pitching is only for this, so they don't consider me. So you have to educate people on, you do it every day. And I always think about that. What I'm not. Oh, have y'all seen that guy who hops out the trunk of the car? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? I tell you, that was the greatest pitch ever. Because I was like, I just want to know how you hopped out of a trunk of a car, and that's where the money reside. I didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. Pitching is something you do in everyday life. Even young, beautiful girls. When you be pitching to mom, like when the report card comes, you're like, you know what, I got to soften the blow, or I'm not going to give it to her. You know, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm telling you, everyone needs a pitch. A pitch will get you sales. A pitch will get you noticed in networking events. A pitch will get you noticed to media. You saw Kelly and I, did an interview yesterday, and I was watching it crying like, oh, and that was me and her. And we know each other, but I was like, oh my God, this is so wonderful in Indiana. Oh my God. You do it every day. So what problem do you solve? Number 3, are you the best solution? And I'm not telling you that I compete against LinkedIn and stuff like that, because when you create your own lane, there is no real competition. Think like Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj said, I got bad vision. I don't see competition. One of the greatest to have ever done it in her lane. And I feel like that about what I do when it comes to all forms of pitching. So, of course, you want to drop them credentials on them. You want to drop that tea on them like it's hot. Like, that's why you should go with me. But, and this is what I've done for others and what I can do for you. So be ready with those testimonies. Be ready. Make sure your LinkedIn or places where people go to check you out, make sure you have some things. Which, for some of us, we forget to ask for testimonials. So I'm going to need you, when you leave here today, start emailing people like, yeah, I need that testimonial. Let me give you the link. Let me go on to LinkedIn and just start contacting people. I need testimonials because people are looking at you. For some of you who may be speakers, some of you who are in service-based entrepreneurship, you need those testimonials and trade on them. Number 4, make your big ask. So, of course, people want to win money. People want to win. That's cute. But never forget to ask for something big. So even if you are making your quick pitch today, if you need a resource, if you need to be introduced to somebody, you don't know who in this audience can make that happen. Don't let your fear not allow you to pitch for profit. There's someone who can do things for you. And even if they don't think that day, they're going to remember you. Give us a way to contact you. This event is not by happenstance. This is God's. This is God. And so when y'all pitch, if you mess up, you think we're gonna notice? No. Keep it going. I've been in pitch competitions where I was pitching, and somehow it was in a 10-minute pitch, and I only had 3 minutes, and I was like, ooh, and I was able to dial it back because I practiced enough. Number 5, practice, practice, practice. Whatever you learn here today, incorporate into what you're doing. It might sound nice, people can just get up and wing it, but that usually takes time, and real professionals have put in the work to do that. So wherever you are, I have 26 years of professional speaking excellence. I've been a killer pitch master since 2013. Curvy Girls lasted from 2011 to 2016. And the only reason I'm taking these steps is because there's something else God wants me to tell y'all. What if I tell you this? Number 6, remember, every flaw people say is wrong with you is actually the thing that's going to take you to the next level. Your perceived flaws are your secret weapon, everybody. All the ageism, racism, classism, sexism, body shame, all of that, we've been told makes us less than. And I'm here to tell you, proudly grab it and use it to your advantage. You spent all your life reading about people who did everything perfectly, and oh my God, they got billions, and they got blah, blah, blah. That sounds really great. But for some of us who've never had that in our families, you know how they move. They don't know how you move. And that's why I say small businesses like our hype man today, we really are in control. You just don't know because everyone talks about the big companies, but every big company was small. So take heart. So the reason why I call myself the chubby girl wonder, the female MacGyver business, the killer pitch master. I'm chubby. I am black on all sides. There's nothing ambiguous. Ain't no green eyes. Ain't no light skin. I earned this. And I'm 42. I'm supposed to be put out to pasture now. Oh, baby, I'm just getting started in these streets. So as I'm getting ready to finish, I want to give y'all some other resources. Quinn, I got 13 minutes? Okay, I got to ask you. In 2016, when I appeared on season 8 of Shark Tank, it should have been the happiest time of my life. But y'all know what it wasn't. Shark Tank was amazing. I would never take anything away from that show. It was amazing and scary and it was everything. But right after that, my business partner and I got into such a bad disagreement. And then the love of my life died. And I started drinking to cope. And I drank so much that I couldn't run the company. And I went from a very big life to homelessness. Just that fast. All that money we made. I lost my house. I lost all my possessions, jewelry, everything. And I was reduced down to a blue dress, a blue coat, and a book bag. On my 38th birthday, I tried to take my life in St. Louis, Missouri. I went home specifically to die because I felt like when I was growing up, that's what St. Louis felt like for me. I'm never going to get to where I need to go from here. And so all my psychotropic medication I took, drank a whole lot of alcohol on January 22nd, 2017, and was laid out. I didn't know that my cousin would come home right at the right time. He knew something was wrong. He called for the ambulance and took me to the hospital. I'm all unconscious. I don't know when this happened, but I woke up in Barnes Jewish Hospital. And I was so mad. I was like, I can kill myself. Like, I have nothing to live for. I'm a horrible. I lost everything. I will never be able to do this again. And so in 2 weeks with the right medication in my system, I woke up. I'm alive. And it was totally different. It's like, oh my God, I'm alive. I feel it. And then the reality hit me. All those big time people that were my friends never called and didn't get it. And I could throw out their names, but we don't have to because they're not calling me. Because, yeah, that's what success does. And one of my friends was a social worker, Joanne Francis from Bright Point Health. She called, finally got through to my aunt. My aunt told her I was in St. Louis. Miss Francis wasn't about that life. Miss Francis was like, y'all don't know her. We do in New York. So she talked with she broke through to my aunt. She spoke to the hospital, got my entire stay paid for. They put me on a Greyhound bus back to New York. And I'm scared to come into New York. I'm like, oh my God, this is a place where big dogs are. She got me into crisis respite, which is a beautiful place in Gramercy, for 4 days. She got me into the Bowery Mission Women's Center. Not the Bowery Mission, which is strictly for men at 227 Bowery. The Bowery Mission Women's Center. I was there for almost 2 years, from February 27, 2017 to September 1st, 2018, in a Christ-centered life transformation program. Oh, we lived good. We lived in townhouses and in a big home on the Upper East Side. I only ate Trader Joe's food and Whole Foods. Can't be a bad life. I learned how to cook for the first time, how to be in community, how to love when you don't want to. I learned how to really see God and have a personal relationship because I never had one before. And I saw that everything he took me through in those moments, he was preparing me. It's like what they say, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And when I tell y'all, I went through that program, and there were people who were like, oh, I thought she was on Shark Tank, whatever. Precious, just get a high-paying job. That's best for you. That's not what my God says. But I'm going to keep it cute and quiet. So when I finished the program, the pastor of my church, the pastor of the church, Trinity Baptist, did I hear that? 3 Trinity? And he and his wife wanted me to move into their home, first time in the history of that program. So that student walked out and walked into a big home. I was on the 3rd floor until last year during the pandemic. My company went from where we were to tripling our revenue in a pandemic, an economic downturn, and social unrest. LinkedIn wasn't my client. All these big people companies weren't my clients. But when people shrank during the pandemic, I was like, ooh, I've been here before. They ain't been here before. So I got more visible. I got the pitching with the big dog. When my physical speaking engagements were canceled, girl, you know what I'm doing. I was calling in my network. Hey, y'all, I know you know somebody there. Can you get me? Listen, all I need is one intro. Crack the door. I'm walking through. I don't even need much. Just crack the door. I'm walking through. And I got the biggest companies in the world to pay me attention and get me them contracts, which allows me to be here and come first class. And then get into that nice Tesla with JP, but you know how they do. So it's been less than 3 years, y'all. And God showed me what he can do. When those doors closed, he said, stop looking and look over. So I want to leave y'all with, I was homeless and an addict not that long ago. I've been clean and sober after alcohol on June 22nd, 4.5 years. So as I wind down, I want you all to know this about this beautiful woman in front of me, Kelly Sparks, is she made this for you all. And God touched my heart to say, this is where I need to be because I've been in the Midwest for so long. It's time to get back to the very place that I was birthed. So at the end of the day, y'all, here's some things I want y'all to take under, I want y'all to know. Please take pitchingforprofit.com, not www, just pitchingforprofit.com. My website is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. And for those of you who may have connections to companies that are looking for a dynamic speaker, teacher, trainer in the art of pitching, visibility, marketing, branding, my other website is killerpitchmaster.com. If you go to my website, if you want to schedule time on my calendar, there's a schedule link. If you want to see the type of things that I'm able to do one-on-one with group and stuff like that, check me out. My free books are there. And we got books here to sign today, so if you're ready, come get it. And finally, y'all. And I didn't tell Kelly this. Do y'all like Shark Tank? Raise your hands. Scream out. What if I told you that I am associated with the show, The Shark Tank on steroids? Yes, I'm trying to tell you. So if you take down my information or if you go to my website, I want you all to reach out because if you've ever wanted to pitch on TV with big time investors, and it's not Shark Tank, I say it's on steroids because they're going to mentor coach. Like it's not just, I'm just going to pitch and that's it. But it's called America's Real Deal. And you can go look it up, but don't do anything on that site. Because if you want that kind of opportunity, you have revenue, you got a client base and stuff like that, and we can talk about it, it's no problem. I want you to send me an email at precious@perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. Do you see why Kelly had to have this event for me to share that with you all? That's how God works. So even if you're in your darkest light, you have no clients or whatever, You're going to hear people today who started with nothing, and when everything was against them, they came out swinging regardless. So I started off on a television show, and I'd love to see some of you get your big break on national and international television. Again, my website is www.perfectpicturesbyprecious.com. You can send me a message on my website, or you can go to my email address, precious@perfectpicturesbyprecious.com. And I want to thank you so much, Kelly, because right now I'm trying not to cry, because I've been treated with such respect in Indiana, in Indianapolis, in Greenwood. I didn't expect this.
Who's your hospitality?
You know how it be. And so I think it's best to end at this point. And if you all would indulge me, unless there's a question that someone has, if you all would indulge me, I'm gonna film something really quickly. I'm just gonna take a picture. But if you all love what I did today, I want y'all to go ham and cheese. I'm gonna record it for 5 seconds, y'all. I'm gonna tell you when we do that. Is that okay, Queen Kelly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Queen Kelly. Now I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and maybe I'll do 1, 2, 3, and I want y'all to show me love so that my people can see that around the world I get that love. Because I'm really telling y'all the real truth and not a fake guru giving y'all stuff that's never gonna work. So, so I'm gonna ask this question, and y'all go ham and cheese when okay, let me make sure I get this right. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Y'all go ham and cheese, okay? And ham and cheese means screaming, hollering, throwing kids left and right. You know what I'm saying? Lifting up food, whatever. Okay, we start here. And when I ask the question, keep going until I pan all over, okay? Okay. All right, everybody, we're at the Indiana Small Business Connection with Kelly Sparks. Did y'all enjoy the killer Pitchmaster Precious Williams? Yeah. I really want to thank y'all because I felt my grandmother in here. And my grandmother's been dead 20 years. 20 years this year. So I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I think you all need to give Kelly Sparks another round of applause.
All because I had the guts to pick up the phone like an entrepreneur should. And I just talked to her the way I would talk to you. You go out to lunch, you get to know people, and you share a little bit about yourself. And that's all I did. I wasn't going to do it. I had second thoughts. Oh, don't call her. What are you thinking? She's in New York. Come on. But I did it anyways. And she's here. And I'm so grateful, and I hope you got a lot out of what she said. We're going to move into our best pitches here in just a few moments. Emily, I would like to give Emily an announcement or a shout out. She's with Events Indy, and would you please applaud her because she helped me plan this.